Hi, this is Andrew Twidwell, owner of ABT Plumbing, Electric, Heat, and Air. Once again with the show You Got This. It's a show of DIY do's and don'ts. And I am in our Auburn office, our conference room, which we affectionately call our interrogation room.
The dungeon.
The dungeon. We have no windows in here. And I'm here with Dan Foss, our head of our drain division and managing everything right now because one of our guys is out dealing with some health issues right now. So hopefully Kevin is doing well. I know he's on his last round of
Kevin,
chemo.
get better. I need you
better.
back, please.
Yeah. So he should be back next month. So we're hoping that all goes well. And we've got Rosalie, our producer in lovely LA, Griffith. No, you're not in Griffith Park. Are you
Pretty
Griffith
close.
Park area? Yeah. In LA, if anybody's familiar with that area down there.
The best area.
Just getting over the Thanksgiving hump. I know my son was in town living with us, and that's always fun having a 27-year-old, 210 pound, 6 foot tall eating machine in our house. Just kind of like he comes in and just takes over the room, and stuff's everywhere. You know how boys can be. So that was fun. But it was fun having him around. We did a lot of fun things. We actually went and did a tourist day in San Francisco. Took the ferry out to North Beach, took the ferry to the ferry building and walked out to North Beach and Chinatown, and took him to dim sum and drinks at the Savoy Tivoli. Any of you guys that grew up in San Francisco, you'll know the Savoy Tivoli. I know we went. Both my wife went and I went at different times. Did you go to Savoy Tivoli on Grant?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That was like the hip place, right? In the 90s. So we
totally.
hung out a lot. I hung out there before I was 21. I could only get coffee, but
didn't we all?
Yeah. Well, actually, Betty was there as an adult, as a 21-year-old, adult, right? And actually got cocktails there. I was too young for that. So we'd pregame and then go get coffee.
I did the turkey trot. So
I
was actually trying to help the community and all that stuff. And
I was unable to make it this year, but we did sponsor the turkey trot. We actually sponsored the last 2 years. We've done our biggest donations to turkey trot. It's one of those things that I feel.
Mental health is
a big deal. It's affected pretty much everybody I know, and if it hasn't affected you, you probably just aren't aware of it, because more than likely it's pretty much affected everybody at this point, as we become more and more aware of what all it entails. So it is something that's definitely close to my heart, and want to help support that any way that I can.
I heard that you heard that I was going and doing the trot, and you said you didn't want to trot with me. Is that what it was?
Yes.
I don't know where he's going with that, but yeah.
Now here's the real thing. One of the biggest things, because we had a lot of fun talking to people, along the trail as we were doing the walk. I didn't do the run. If you see me running, you better start running too, because something's chasing me that I'm afraid of. But if that's the case, but I had fun talking to people on the trail.
Very cool.
And one of the cool things we talked about was, what's your favorite dessert you're looking forward to today?
Oh my!
So for us, my wife makes this great dish called a pretzel salad, and we actually have that with our main dish. But it is good. It has like pretzels on the bottom that have been baked in butter.
Yeah.
And then on top of that's like a whipped cream, sugar, cream cheese mix.
Yeah.
And then on top of that is strawberry jello with pieces of strawberry in it. So it's kind of layered, and oh gosh, it is
a parfait with pretzels.
Oh, it is good. The salt with the sweet.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
So I was telling people that, and they're like, "Where are you having Thanksgiving?"
Right.
And we're like, "We're not telling you." So what's your favorite dessert for Thanksgiving?
Typically pumpkin pie, but we had my cousin made a pumpkin cheesecake that was pretty amazing.
Wow.
It didn't quite set, but it was still amazing. And there was like 20 of us there, and we pretty much decimated that cheesecake. So how about you, Rosalie?
Okay, so I'm usually pumpkin pie year round, anytime I can get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotta have the whipped cream then. Yeah.
But my daughter a couple years ago made a pumpkin pie cheesecake that was one of the best things I've ever had. So when you said pumpkin pie cheesecake, I'm like, that's where it's at
Bomb.
right there.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I thought she'd like it because I could see drooling. Starting to come in. It's just like, man, that must be good. I've never tried that one.
Well, can we talk about the pretzels really quick for a minute? Because when you started out with the pretzel, I was very excited because there's a restaurant.
You didn't even have to go past that.
Really, honestly. So
butter right there, boom, you're done.
There's a restaurant in town that's walkable they serve pretzels and huge, gigantic pretzels with beer sauce and cheese and all these other things. And so we will go walk over there a couple times a month and have some amazing beer and this pretzel. And so when you started off with pretzel, I was like, Dan, next year, talk to your wife. I'm going to drive up. Okay. But then when you started talking about the other stuff, I felt like, no, I'm okay. I'll just stay.
Oh, you don't know what you're missing. It is good. Although I am actually this Friday driving down through LA. Maybe you need to tell me where that place is. Yeah.
I'll meet you there.
So
yeah,
I'll treat you to a pretzel. It's right off the 5.
He's going to do pro bono plumbing for his daughter down in San Diego.
Yeah.
So yeah,
taking time off of work and going on vacation to work.
Right.
That sounds like the story of my life lately.
What we do as parents.
Give me a ring, Dan. I'll treat you and the wife to some pretzels. It's right off the 5.
Oh, there we go.
We were talking about FaceTiming and how to help people fix things, and I was FaceTiming my son on how to fix his tankless water heater in Mexico City 2 nights ago. So yeah, that's what we do as parents, right? You got to help the kids figure that stuff out. Fortunately, my son did not want to be a plumber, so yeah. But anyway, so we are moving into now Thanksgiving's done. Now we're moving into the holiday season, and I know some people started that back in Halloween, but
August.
I like to until after Thanksgiving for my Christmas spirit. But you came up with a great list of things for tools for the DIY person in our household that people might enjoy. So we've got this fantastic list that we're going to go over, and we're going to be a little biased because it's going to be tools that we're going to pick and choose the tools that we like to have around in our house. I am a consummate DIYer in my own home, constantly fixing things. I come from
what Betty said.
Yeah, no, right.
Yeah. She showed me your list one time. He doesn't get anything done around here.
But I come from farming stock, so you fix things. You did what you had to do to keep the house going. So
Wait, 1 second. Farming in San Francisco, is that what you were trying to say?
My dad actually would go. On his side, he had aunts and uncles that lived in Red Bluff and Nebraska. So during the summers, he would have to go and work on the farms. So he comes from farming stock.
Okay.
I didn't really work on the farm, but he did. And then on my mom's side, they all came from Meadow, Utah, and they were farmers on her family side. So, granted, it's a generation apart, but that was that Depression era kind of fix everything you can, pull yourself up by your bootstrap kind of thing, baby boomer kind of thing was instilled in us to make sure we took care of our own stuff. So yeah, that's why I got into the trade that I'm in. But anyway, so we got this fantastic list that Rosalie put together. And I'm going to start with the thing that most people forget when they're dealing with tools. And that is high quality PPE, personal protection equipment. Because we tend to forget how important those things are. And it's something that we really try to instill in our guys in our office, our field guys, because it is something that we forget. Like we all have stories of, I know I got solder in my eyes when my safety glasses were on, holding my hair back on the top of my head, and solder and flux. And had I just pulled them down, I would have, I almost lost my eyes on that one. So a couple of things that are really good to have around when you're working around the house, whether that's with a saw or anything, is really good safety glasses. A heavy duty safety glasses. Anti-fog coating is really good too, because there are times when you're working in the house and you may be in an area where, during the summertime when it's hot and you're sweating and you're breathing and you're fogging them up, and all of a sudden those safety glasses go on top of your head, and next thing you know, you get a splinter in your eye or something like that. So get a high quality safety glasses. Really, really good. What are some safety equipment that you like to have around in your house?
Ear protection.
Ear protection.
Main
Huge.
reason is because when my wife starts yelling at me about wanting to do the dishes, I put the ear protection in. And, oh wait, no, that's not what that's for. But no, I mean the reality is these type of things. The last thing you want for Christmas is to have to get a new glass eye or have to get hearing aids. That you don't want that on your Christmas list. So get good PPE to protect those things, so that way those things don't have to be on your Christmas list.
Yeah, and coming from a person that grew up in the trades, I've been working in the trades since I was about 5 years old. 56 now. I have a constant ringing in my ear. My hearing is really bad. I haven't gotten hearing aids yet, although my wife says I should have gotten about 5 years ago, but that's something I'm working on. And that is from not wearing my ear protection when I should have, using skill saws, sawzalls, shooting guns, things like that.
Another good PPE is heavy duty work gloves, good work gloves. Yeah. As a matter of fact, you can probably remember, was it about a year and a half ago? I split my finger open moving a water heater, and I'm sitting there shaking with, it all wrapped up going, I'm going to need help installing this water heater. And you guys looked at it and went, no, you're going to the doctor, Dan. You're not installing a water heater.
And had you been wearing gloves?
Had I been wearing gloves, I would have just been, man, I, kind of hit my hand, but I'm okay. And I would have been able to install a water heater that day.
Another one of our guys actually put a hole through his hand with a Sawzall blade, which I've been working in the trades forever, and the worst I've ever done with a Sawzall is Nick, but he actually punctured his thumb.
I have a picture of that.
Punctured his thumb, and had he been wearing heavy duty gloves, it wouldn't have happened. So yeah,
and he was on top of a ladder when he did it.
And that sucker was stuck there. He had to take the
OSHA
blade off.
To this, right?
No, I know.
Okay, good.
We can only do so much. We can provide all this stuff to our guys, but they actually have to wear it. So
using it helps.
It really helps.
It's kind of like soap. It works best when applied.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. Comfortable, durable work boots. Another good thing to have. Safety glasses, respirators. Yeah, at the very least have. If you don't have a dust mask around, I mean, with all the stuff that's been going on with COVID and stuff, you should have them around at least for working on dusty objects, because anytime you're dealing with fiberglass, dust, painting, scraping paint, there's all kinds of stuff, especially if you're in a house that's over 20 years old, 30 years old. You're going to find lead and asbestos and things all the time these days.
And another thing people, when you think about is PPE, but pants.
Yeah.
Long sleeve shirts. Just protecting your skin and everything else.
What do you mean, my flip flops and shorts when I'm weed whacking?
That's probably not, especially with the star thistles. I've actually had a star thistle go through the jeans and into my leg, and I'm like, pull that thing out. If those of you guys that don't know what a star thistle is, go look it up. Oh my gosh, it'll be careful when weed whacking.
Star thistles and goat heads. Bane of my existence. Okay, so now we'll get into tools. So basic hand tools. These are some critical things. They say a precision screwdriver set. For me, I'm a big fan of the 6-in-1 screwdriver. I've got a 6-in-1 in the drawer of my pickup truck. I got a 6-in-1 in the junk drawer in my kitchen. I got a 6-in-1 in the junk drawer in my RV. I've got 6-in-1 screwdrivers strategically arranged throughout my whole existence, because I always need one. So you've got a large Phillips, a small Phillips, a large standard, a standard or a small standard, a 1/4-inch drive, and a 5/16 drive. That'll pretty much take care of most of the things that I need to deal with when it comes to any kind of screw. And
when I was in the field a lot, I usually would go through about 8 of those a year.
Yeah. And they're relatively inexpensive. They're typically under $10.
I think $6-7.
Yeah. So that's why I have
some of the better ones are right around 10.
You're going to spend a little bit more, but like you say, like you go through them. Like I found, like
I'd lose a head or I'd lose. So
exactly. They're kind of one of those disposable things. So like I believe in quantity when it comes to a 6-in-1 screwdriver over quality, because I tend to lose them more often than I wear them out.
Right.
And I have them throughout my life, because I'm strategically arranged throughout my life, so I don't have to remember where they are.
What I did learn to do with those, or learn not to do with those, though, is using that screwdriver with a hammer to try to chisel something out, because then I couldn't get it apart.
Right.
And I was like, well, that was a waste. And so then I ended up having to throw it away. But don't use it as a chisel like you can with some hammers and flatheads and things like that, because that'll ruin them. But other than that, I mean, they work great.
If you do have a DIYer in your house, and you're thinking about a tool to get them, buy 6 of these things.
Don't spread it around.
I swear. I mean, I've got them everywhere in my life. I love those things. What do we got? Some other ones. A Japanese pull saw. That's kind of handy. I don't even own one. My dad was really into them. I don't really care for them. Yeah, I mean they're kind of cool, but I mean it's kind of nice because the difference between a Japanese saw and a regular saw is on a regular saw it's on the pole, is on the cutting edge, and the Japanese is on the plunge. So the teeth are backwards compared to what we're used to. Or is it?
I think I've seen some of the Japanese ones where they're both ways.
They're both ways.
So it can cut both ways, but maybe those aren't the anyway. But yeah,
my dad was really into them. I'm not so into them, but yeah, if you've got somebody that's really into woodworking, there are people that are really into these pull saws. I have not been a fan.
One thing when it comes to like pliers and things like that would be I love channel locks.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And here's the thing, guys: if you're going to go get somebody channel locks, get name brand. Is my suggestion. The cheaper channel lock as a tool versus the name brand of the tool, you will notice a difference. So I would suggest getting the real ones. They're great, indispensable as a plumber. I use them all the time.
And there is a German manufacturer that I just bought, and man, those things are great. I'm going to move on to more, and I'll hold this one up.
Well, while he's looking at that, so those are some of the hand tools. A good hammer is always a good thing to have too, and also a pry bar, always a good thing. Sometimes you have a hard time pulling out nails or whatever else; they're good for that. But of course, it's the holidays, so sometimes we like getting gifts that create neat power.
Right,
more power.
Oh, okay.
Knipex,
the Knipex. Knipex. If you're going to buy your significant other a really quality product, and they want a set of channel locks, the Knipex, Knipex. These things are the bomb, man. I've just picked up a set of them. They're about $100 for 3 of them, but I like them so much better than channel locks. The handles, when you close them, they don't touch each other.
Pinch.
They don't. I can't tell you how many blood blisters I've gotten from channel locks when I'm squeezing on something and it slips, and the next thing I know, it gets stuck, and I get a blood blister in my pinky or my forefinger, my main finger, my index finger. These things and they have more adjustments. So if you find them, I bought a set, and these things are bomb. I love them.
Nice.
Anyway, so yeah,
power tools.
When you get into power tools, this is one of those things that, these days cordless is pretty much it. I mean, there's really no reason to buy a corded tool any longer. With the lithium batteries, these things are lasting a long time. I know and a circular saw now with a cordless, I don't have to worry about chopping the cord off. I don't have to worry about what side the cord is on when I'm cutting. Mm-hmm. I love them. And if you're a homeowner, if it's a homeowner type thing, when you're working just at your house and you're not a contractor, I always bought, expensive DeWalt or Milwaukee tools when I was working in the field. Now that I'm not working in the field so much anymore, I'm buying the cheaper ones like the Ryobis or the Brauer, some of those from Harbor Freight or Home Depot. I'm finding they work fine for my need because I'm only using them, a couple times a month as opposed to a couple times a day. So if you're looking at a tool set for your significant other, you can get a set with about 5 or 6 tools for about $200 with 2 batteries and a skill saw, sawzall, an impact wrench, a driver, and a vibrating, oscillating tool. And I never had an oscillating tool. I finally got one. Oh my God, those things are
great.
Amazing. We should talk about oscillating tools. What's an oscillating tool? Because this is new to me. Like in the last year, 2 years ago, I got one. I won't
tell you what we call them, but they're a great tool. They kind of vibrate back and forth, and so they have a blade that kind of cuts back. So it's great for doing like plunge cuts, things like that in tight areas,
cutting trim, cutting into walls, and they don't. It's not as a violent cut as like a sawzall, where the sawzall
doesn't have as long of a throw.
Doesn't have a long of a throw, so it's not pulling the drywall off the wall or the plaster off the wall. Things are amazing.
They're great for drywall too.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So oscillating tool. So you can get one of these sets for a couple $100, and they'll have pretty much every tool that your significant other is going to need.
I would say this though, if you're significant enough, you're looking to go buy tools for them, look and see what they've already got. Because here's the key. If like, I'm a Milwaukee guy, I love Milwaukee, but all my tools are Milwaukee. So if you got me something else that was a different tool that used a different battery, now I have a bunch of batteries for other tools that I can't cross use. So it might be better if they are, let's say, already have a lot of DeWalt or Milwaukee or Ryobi or whatever. That's the brand you go with, because the batteries tend to be interchangeable for all those units. So look in that the guy or the gal that you're buying for, look in their garage, see what they've got, and use that as a key to help direct which brand you go with, because they'll be happier with a brand that they already have extra batteries for than those that they don't.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And then they are all pretty much proprietary, so you can't change like a DeWalt battery with a Milwaukee battery or Ryobi battery, but they do tend to stay with the line for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but the lithium batteries, oh my gosh, is a game changer. And I'm late to the show on this because I had been out of the field for a while and I was still using NiCad batteries up until about 3 years ago, which was stupid. Anyway, a couple other things. We got a couple minutes here. What should we talk about here? We've got a laser measuring tool. That's kind of cool.
Oh, I had one, and the last tile job I ended up doing with for ABT for a camp up in up near Highway 80 and 20 where they meet.
Yeah.
It broke. And I was so frustrated, but I would use it to shoot the lines on the wall so that I could make sure my tile was all level.
Right.
And, but there's a lot of applications for those type of tools. Very cool, fun things to have.
Another one is a portable generator. Generators have gotten pretty inexpensive. You can pick up a nice 2,000 watt generator, quiet inverter generator for about $2,000 now, or even less. One thing that I am really keen on right now, though, is you can get these battery boxes. So I've got one that I use in the RV. We were just using it for our meeting because we didn't have an outlet near where we needed to plug in our laptop. So we plugged it into the battery. They've got an inverter on them. And you can pick these things up for anywhere from $500 to a couple grand. And they are amazing. I mean, I've used it for our when power outages occur. We plug a refrigerator into it and use a small generator to recharge the battery, and then ran the refrigerator all night.
Well, and here's another thing for those of you guys that for instance, might have a CPAP or some type of medical device or whatever else, and you're worried about power outages. What a great gift! Because something like this can help power those things through those nights and whatever else that the power's out, because as you know, up here, the power goes out. And when it does, it's sometimes not just for a couple hours. We had a couple years ago, it was out for 2 weeks.
Charge your cell phones, charge your laptops, all those things. So anyway, that's all we've got for the show right now. So if you have any needs for plumbing, electrical, heating, and air issues, you can reach us at 530-230-9092. That number again, 530-230-9092. You can also find us on the web at abtplumbing.com. You can find us on all the social media places. And then if you need any plumbing, electrical, heating, and air, we've got these ridiculous specials still going on. $49 for a water heater flush, $49 for electrical inspections, $97 drain cleaning, and a $49 AC or heater and AC tune-up. Give us a call, 530-230-9092. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you guys next week.
See you later.